Back to Media Watch, to our national news. And let's get right down to an update and our first news analysis. Now, the bloody weekend attack by unidentified suspects on people at a train station in Kunming, Yunnan province has sent shockwaves both in China and overseas. Well, that's because scores of innocent civilians were either killed or hurt. But who are those attackers? Now, the latest word from the country's public security ministry is that the attack was organized by a terrorist group led by Abdul Rahim Kurban. The ministry says there were 8 members in that group. 4 were shot dead on the spot, 1 was injured, and the other 3 were arrested. All right, let's look at various perspectives from the Chinese media. First, from Caixin.com. Why did the terrorists choose Kunming to attack? Chinese military experts say terrorists don't choose the inland cities as a target. But there are 2 easier ways between Xinjiang and Kunming, through highways and trains. Well, that's easier for the terrorists to get in. Another reason, Kunming is a popular tourist attraction, and many tourists come to Kunming every day. They've never experienced any attack, so people are relaxed. How can people protect themselves when they are attacked? Experts suggest that Chinese be given anti-terrorism education. Each company and school should have emergency drills every year. Terrorist attacks are increasing and are taking advantage of our carelessness and lapses in security. Now, China's state news agency Xinhua reported on international outrage over the incident. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon condemned in the strongest terms the terrible attack. In a statement, he said there's no justification for the killing of innocent civilians and hopes that those responsible will be brought to justice. He also expressed condolences to the bereaved families and wishes those wounded a speedy recovery. The United States said it was shocked at and expressed condemnation of the brutal violence that caused heavy casualties. Through the Chinese Foreign Ministry and the Chinese Embassy in Washington, the U.S. government extended condolences to the deceased and voiced sympathy to the victims and their families. Now, the French Foreign Ministry stressed that such an act cannot be defended by any excuse. And Japan expressed grief over the deaths of the victims of the terrorist attack. Phoenix TV reports that China's central government immediately responded to the incident. Senior Chinese security official Meng Jianzhu arrived in Kunming to oversee the situation. At the funeral home, there were already more than 20 bodies, but the victims have not been identified. At the press conference, Kunming police showed the weapons and the flags that the suspects allegedly used in the attack. They said the knives are curved and about 15 inches long. They also said the flags have a moon, a star, and Uyghur inscriptions. The local Kunming TV said it was more than the government who responded to the tragedy. After the terrorist attack, the blood centers in Kunming were crowded with volunteers. They said people lined up at all the blood collection stations in the city. The report said many people called and encouraged others to donate blood through Weibo and WeChat. They said Kunming residents should unite and pass on the positive energy. And the Xinjiang Daily provided a perspective of one of Xinjiang's region's top officials. Huang Chunyuan, the vice chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference in Xinjiang, said the savageness and cruelty of this terrorist attack shocked all of them. But he said the attack is unfair to the Xinjiang people. He said the region's leaders heard the sad news and felt indignation towards the terrorists. He added the Xinjiang people are caring people and the terrorists killed the people who are helping them. He stressed that China must crack down on the separatism and prove that the Xinjiang people are blameless.